An absolute superstar, as we all know. I hope you're narrating this whole thing, Coach. It's 50 years of Bucs football. That was a little snippet from the amazing Prime docuseries, Raise the Flags. Tell me you're all over this thing.
I think I come in like episode 7 because the Bucs have such a great history, and there's some really good years before me, and there are going to be a bunch more after me.
This was 5 years ago, the Super Bowl. Does it feel that way to you?
No, it was 2 years. No, 3. Oh God, it's 5 years ago already.
5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's really crazy. Was there something that you learned about the franchise during the process of the interview or watching back some of the series, if you have, that sort of like hit you?
Yeah, how much the Glazers, how great owners they are, how much family means to them. And, it was a joy working for them and gave you everything you needed. But, man, family really, really mattered.
What sets them apart, you think, or that organization? I was just saying in the break, going down to Bucs camp, it was my first time, Coach, just this past year. And it's really, there's like an aura to it. There's like, I don't know if it's the culture. It's like, obviously the front office, the Glazers, like you're saying. What is it about maybe that ownership group that sets them apart from the other ones in the NFL?
Yeah, I think when you have 5 brothers and a sister running it, sometimes it takes a little bit to get an answer. But it's going to be a good one when it finally comes and gets through the committee. But just the work they do in the community in Tampa area and the Bay Area is just amazing.
The 10-part docuseries, it's called Raise the Flags. I think it's streaming already right now, and that's amazing. And I like that you pointed out ownership because they've been so consistently on top of it and successful. A lot of changes in this organization, but when you talk about why it still stayed competitive, it's from the top down, and it's certainly due to their stewardship, however long it might take to get some answers. But we talk about the 2020 Bucs, yes, 5 years ago. I want to talk about these 2025 Bucs who added JPP. It's what is old is new again. They added him on the defensive side of the ball, someone who you coached in Super Bowl 55, I believe, the winning team. When you first heard that signing, what were your thoughts?
We finally got some energy because he's going to bring some energy, that's for sure. He's one of my favorite all-time guys, and he can still do it. I mean, in the right role, I can see him really, really helping us down the stretch.
33 sacks in 4 seasons in Tampa Bay from 2018 to 2021. He's at least bringing energy, but coach is saying he can still play, which is great. And they need it. They need some wins. They need to convince me a little bit. This is my Super Bowl pick in August, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. But then Mike Evans is back, so now I'm back in because he's that big of a difference maker. Collarbone injury, you know him well. We know that we need him. We need him to stay healthy too. Is there a snap count sort of thing if you're the coach that you're looking at here? Like, what do you expect to see tonight?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be on any kind of pitch count because it was a collarbone, not his hamstring. His hamstring's probably totally healed. But what he brings is just that one-on-one ability to just take over the game. And when he's double covered, then Chris Godwin and Emeka will be one-on-one, and I love those matchups. Jalen McMillan getting his speed back out there also will be huge. They've had so many injuries in the offensive line. That's the only area that concerns me. And, getting these guys back for the stretch and hopefully Calais Cansey, if we get him back on the defensive side, that's about as full speed as healthy we can get.
I want to show you, I'm going to ask the control. Can you guys pop up the Mike Evans full screen that we had in the beginning of the show? I know what you're saying, right? The other guys will face double coverage. Mike Evans being back is huge. These splits are actually insane, though, Coach. Look at this. The last 2 years, 13-3, 4-10 without him. The passer rating drops by 20. It's sort of unbelievable to me how important. Why is this team so much better when he is out there, no matter who's around him?
Yeah, because he's a game wrecker. And, if you put any corner in the league out there, I don't care who it is, one-on-one, Mike's going to win 90% of the battles. And, Baker has such great trust in throwing it up to him. He's such a big target, especially down in the red zone. That's where we really miss him. But the problem, usually when he was hurt, Chris Godwin was also hurt. And
yes.
That's why we went out and drafted Ibuka, and he's done great. But to get all 4 of those guys on the field at one time, man, that'd be awesome.
I would love to see that, of course. And then in the AFC, you know something about coaching a quarterback in his mid-40s. You're the perfect person to ask. Let's start at the beginning here. You hear the signing, Phillip Rivers back to Indy. Are you like, he's starting? Are you head scratched? Are you into it? He hasn't played in 5 years. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I know the mental part's so easy for Philip because he's played that offense his entire career and he's been coaching it. And he's out there with the kids and he's semi good shape, but it ain't the same as being chased around by that Seattle defense. I'd be a little concerned if he starts this week if Riley's healthy, because Riley's legs against that defense up in Seattle might prove to be very important. But Philip's going to get it out of his hand. He's going to get it to the right guys. He can still spin it. There's no doubt about that. Just like Joe Flacco, they can still spin it. Their arm doesn't go away; it's their legs.
He made the joke that he doesn't really run much anyway, is what he was saying. If you're in Steichen's shoes and Philip, you've had this rapport with him, all of that, we're not worried about the mental side. What do you need to see in practice? He was there yesterday. We saw some footage today and tomorrow. What do you need to see as the head coach to know he's the one?
Total command, which he's got. I don't think there's any doubt Shane would be very, very comfortable starting him because he knows the ball's going to, just like Daniel, the ball went to the right place all the time. And so, yeah, it's just a matter of keeping him upright. That offensive line's a damn good offensive line, and they got a hell of a challenge the next 4 games. I mean, they don't play anybody easy the rest of the way. But to have somebody that knows the offense in and out, got all the answers to the test before he goes in, that's very, very important.
Sounds like he's starting, Coach.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think he's leaving everything he got going on all of a sudden coming out to just sit there on the bench. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And I can't wait to see it. And then Seattle's like a real tough test.
Oh, that's as tough as it gets in Seattle right now. First of all, you got to beat the heckler coming out with all the signs. When you come out of the locker room, they got the best heckler in the world in Seattle.
That guy sucks.
We're actually good friends now.
Do you have beef with him? What's your big story with him? Luke Kuechly hates him. If Luke Kuechly doesn't like you, you are not a great guy.
He's great now. He digs on stuff. He finds stuff on everybody. But he started with me the first time we went up there because they had lost. The Cardinals had lost, I think, 58-3 the year before. And I'm coming at halftime and the game's close, and he starts yapping. I said, "But you better have your ass in that seat when this game's over, brother." And as soon as we won the game and came off the field, great job, coach, man. You're a hell of a coach.
Oh.
so he got off my back. And then the next year we go, hell of a coach, but a shitty GM. And he's killing Steve Keim.
So you like him?
Oh, okay. I love him. Yeah.
What do you think he'll say to Philip?
Oh, he'll have some grandpa stuff out there. But, I'm sure he's got something good. The guy never uses profanity. I mean, he's just a professional heckler.
An all-pro heckler in Seattle and the number 2 defense, which also,
he's number 1.
I don't know. I feel like if we're talking about heckling, he might have met his match with Philip Rivers. I feel like that's a worthy challenger.
There's going to be some great comebacks for sure.
They better mic him up, BA. They better have this Rivers mic'd up when he starts. I'm convinced he's starting. Do you know, we have some footage of you coaching against Philip Rivers. Take me back to 2014, if you remember, and I'm sure you remember this 18-17 victory. What do you remember?
Well, first of all, there was a flood, and we didn't know we were going to play the game.
Whoa!
And there was a huge rainstorm. All the interstates were flooded, and Eastwood and back and forth, and always trusted Carson to do the right thing, and he makes a great play here at the end, and just hell of a win for us.
Hell of a win. I love seeing Larry out there. John Brown. Oh my gosh. John Brown's out here. Of course, Keenan Allen, who's still doing his thing. Okay. Other storylines I need to get your opinion on because you just tell it how it is. And there's this whole bite going on from Cincinnati. I don't know if it's overblown. I want to know what you think. It's here's Joe Burrow, normal press conference, standard business. And he's talking about his current, he's asked and sort of, really asked about where he is with football. Let's take a look.
If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? I've been through more than most, and it's certainly not easy on the brain or the body, so just trying to have fun doing it again.
Seem frustrating.
There's just a lot of things going on right now.
Football related, personally?
All the above.
I mean, he's allowed to feel that way and to express that. When you see that though, what read do you get?
He's tired of the injuries. I see a little bit of Andrew Luck. sitting in that training room for 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row, never getting any downtime, and it wears on you, man. It wears on you. And I had picked to beat the Bills and win the AFC North last week, and Joe was playing lights out, and then those 2 crazy picks. But yeah, I think that he's very, very frustrated because he likes winning. He's used to winning, and they're so close. You can't score 38 points every week and lose. Something's wrong.
When you saw those back-to-back picks, can you explain them?
Yeah, well, one was just a batted ball. He's throwing just the right guy, and then they have a hot receiver. They ran a corner blitz, and he just didn't quite get it high enough. That's really hard to do, jump up and catch that ball. Most guys bat it down. But, yeah, he was doing everything the right way, and it just didn't happen and good for him. You know what I mean? It went the other way.
Mm-hmm. How can the Bengals org make this right if you even agree that they need to make changes or make it right? How do they make him love, like I as a fan, it's like I don't want to hear that from him. I want him to love what he's doing and feel as supported as a star like he should be.
Yeah, I think a lot of things, the defense has been a struggle for a little bit of while now. I thought Lou Anarumo was a great coach, and they switched it over for Al, and Al brought in, the stuff that he's been doing at Notre Dame, and it just hasn't worked for their defense. And they've played really good in a couple ball games, and then they give up 40, and then they give up 42, and it's very frustrating as an offensive coach and offensive player when you're scoring 35 points a game and losing.
As somebody who's been coach of the year, I don't know if you've ever dealt with that with a quarterback. And all these Andrew Luck comps are happening, so that makes sense. How do you navigate when your human quarterback is going through that?
Yeah, I think you just rally around him. The locker room rallies around you, and everybody knows how he feels, and I'm sure there's other guys that feel the same way. Chase and T were not getting balls early in the year. Then they brought in Joe, and they were getting like 20 targets a game. And then Joe Burrow comes back, and it's even better. The light is still bright for Cincinnati's offense. But they just got to do something about this defense to get better. And with Trey Hendrickson out the rest of the way, they could still win AFC North with an 8-9 record.
Which is wild. I don't know who wants to win that North. I mean, Aaron Rodgers looks better than ever all of a sudden, huh?
Yeah, that all the controversy last week got him fired up.
Yeah, legitimately. And that's exactly right. And they might go, what a story that would be in my head, out of nowhere. I haven't really been paying attention. And then, of course, last week he's running it in and feeling good, and they're on top right now. So we'll see. Elsewhere in the AFC, the Chiefs, they somehow still have a chance. They're still being talked about. They're still, I'm looking at FanDuel Sportsbook. There's still a chance for them, a great one. People are literally calling Andy Reid stale, predictable. We got to switch this up. From your perspective, is there something to that?
I think the Chiefs, if they get in, watch out, because they can win on the road. That's not a problem. And the defense, their defense, too, is like hot and cold. And when they're like that last week, third and fourth quarter, man, they were lighting it up. And then Houston comes back. And, Andy Reid is probably one of the most innovative coaches in the league. Now, it's always been, has got a great imagination. The points are just down. Balls are being dropped that weren't dropped before. They're not getting some of the calls they used to get, and also they're penalized way too much. Then I'm not used to seeing the Chiefs have that many pre-snap penalties.
They're penalties they shouldn't be getting, or they just have too many penalties?
Too many penalties that are just concentration penalties. Misalignments, tackles being off the ball, all those kind of easy things pre-snap that they're not supposed to happen if you're the Kansas City Chiefs.
It just feels like everything that went their way for so long isn't like balls are bouncing out. These drops, like it all just feels like it's like missed by like a beat. And I don't know how to fix that, but there's this like, I think it's like probably a pretty lazy narrative to say like they got to switch something's got to be shaken up. But I don't know if that's true. Like if you were to add something or tweak something to get that aligned to where it needs to be, what does that look like?
You get both those tackles healthy real quick. That is so hard to do. Play with your third and fourth and then fifth tackle, who actually played really, really well in the ball game and handled Daniel Hunter, unbelievable. So They hit a home run with that one. But like I said, I'd never count them out. As long as Patrick was playing, I'd never count them out. And Andy's coaching and Spags. So, like I said, watch out if they slip in.
Yeah, being a coach sounds real fun until two of the biggest names in the industry that are so respected, like Andy Reid and Tomlin, there's fire chance. You know, there's
And Harbaugh, John
pitchforks.
Harbaugh. You know,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
there's pitchforks
Yeah.
out your window. Look, I don't even. What is it? You know, what do 3 Super Bowls even earn you in this industry anymore?
Hey, my last 2 years in Pittsburgh, they had a fire at BruceArians.com. We just won the
No,
Super
they
Bowl.
didn't. Did they
Yeah,
really?
Oh yeah, big time. And
Oh, you were an assistant there with Tom. Like you're talking, like what do you make of what's gone? I mean, whether or not they make the playoffs, I don't know what that earns him. I don't know. Consistency
Yeah,
means nothing, I guess.
it's a totally different team than when I was there. You know, that defense we had with Ben was in his prime. We had everything we needed, and you know, to go to Super Bowl 43 and 45, I think Mike's first four or 5 years, and then you know, then it's kind of gone a different direction. You know, they didn't win anything with the Killer Bees. I mean, maybe a playoff game, and I don't know. It's just to watch them play now. It's not Steeler football that I know.
So who do you like? Killer Bees is crazy. I forget, like, it's so crazy. Le'Veon Bell, like, and then like gosh, those were some wild times. Tomlin really had his hands full. You too. If we look at, let's look at maybe the Super Bowl odds, if we can pull those up for Coach. Who do you like? Am I sleeping on that Texans defense? No joke. Patriots, are you in? Like, who are you in on?
I'm all in on Houston's defense, that's for sure. And especially if they sneak it out and win at home.
They're
you know,
not even
for
on
me,
here.
Yeah, I know. The Packers, they're playing really good football right now. Something's missing, although Micah has really made a big difference. If Seattle gets the home field advantage, watch out. That defense. I think the Bills, Patriots, it all depends on home field advantage. But I picked Denver to go to the Super Bowl, and right now I pick Seattle.
Texans sitting there at plus 1,600. I'm told just below Philly. A couple quick questions. What are the Packers missing?
I don't know. They looked really good the other night against the Bears. Christian Watson being back helps big time with his
my
explosiveness. And yeah, he showed up big time. It's hard to count the Lions out, but they might not even make the playoffs. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I think there's just, I guess they got to do it. I just got to see them do it.
Right. There's something where I'm like, I like that Jordan's letting it rip more. I think that's important.
Yeah.
Let him do that. Jacobs looked good, got in the end zone. Like they looked tough on D, like we were saying about Mike, but there's still something, and they've got the Broncos, by the way. Woof, this week. Then they have Chicago again in Chicago. And I'm just like, you guys really have to prove it over these next 2 games for me, because it's just like this. I mean, if it's them or the Rams, the Rams are winning the Super Bowl. The Rams are perfect. The Rams, like, they're boring perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, you know, with their running game and Puka and Devontae and Matthews playing lights out at his age, it's just amazing. You know, I always said he's the only quarterback I'd go out and watch warm up. You know, he's just amazing. And,
I like your Seattle. Go ahead.
Seattle, like I said, home field advantage between the Rams and the Seahawks. I don't think you want to. The Seahawks have way bigger home field advantage because SoFi sells out to the opposing crowd so much. You know, you saw Pittsburgh, you saw Philly.
You
so
like the
everybody
Seattle
take that
crowd.
stadium over,
Yeah, you're so
you know?
funny. Okay, Seattle. This is my last one for you. I want to buy somebody. I was at a dinner last night talking about Seattle. They're the sneaky one. Why don't you, if you like them, that must mean that you don't believe this narrative that Sam can't win that big game wherever it might be. Can you help me understand? There's a lot of data for those big games, and Sam, not just like struggling, like the meltdown of Sam Darnold. What do you make of that?
That's a real thing until you win it. And like I said, if they get it home and win the first one, he's going to feel real more comfortable in the second one. And once he gets comfortable, watch out. And with JSN and everybody's got out there and that defense, yeah, I mean, the 12 is real. That's a great place to go play.
So you think so we're talking to you, Seattle crowd. Come up, support your guy. It's a real thing. They get the Rams again next week with the West on the line. Huge, huge game. And he has not fared well against that defense even a little bit. I'd like to buy Seattle. You just gave me a little more confidence. BA, you're the best. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. It is so great to see you. And everybody, go stream Raise the Flags. If you're a football fan, you want the nostalgia, the creamsicles, everything, the pirate ship, the whole thing. It is a 10-part docuseries celebrating 50 years of Bucs football featuring Bruce Arians, and you can see it on Prime. Thanks, Coach.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. We'll be back.